Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Wednesday, February the 18th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the room. I know I usually have this up. Here's how you get in, and there's the address, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. I'm in this trade right now. It's a scary little one. Big shout out to Matt for bringing it to our attention in the trading room. He brought it around right here. This only has about, according to Trade Ideas, about 2.3 million shares in the float. So, I mean, this is up $3.65. It's an incredible rise. You know, I don't know if I'm going to hold it. I have to see if it's going to break down through six, I will get out of it. Because if it breaks down through six, it could just really collapse quickly. So I have to keep an eye on it. I have my eye on another monitor. So let's just keep an eye on this one, or I will keep an eye on this one. Today was a very strange day for me because I had wait. Oh, I'm out of it. Okay, I am now out of this one. Okay, live television. Um, Today was a strange day for me because I had more losers than winners, and yet the day was overall very profitable. Let's just excuse me. Let's just go over some of the things that I did today. Now, the first one that I took was Rosetta Genomics, and this was one that I wanted to watch. It was on my best 10 list. Again, best 10 doesn't mean these are ones that I expect to necessarily go up or down. I just expect when I say that, I expect one, like the reaction one way or the other, but I don't know which way they're going to go. It's just that they were active the day before, probably, and so it's best to take a look at them to see if there's a good trade in them. So that's where Ross G came into account. And if you look here is where I took it in the pre-market, and that price was it's hard to see, but it was $5.31, and you can see it popped up to 560. 566, I think, was yesterday's high, and it had to break through that, and it didn't do it. And as it started coming down, I exited the trade at 530. You know what? This is wrong. I took the trade at 531 and I exited at 535. So basically a wash on this one. And then it just completely and utterly collapsed. And now we started washing it again at around 4. And so I ended up taking the trade again at $4.08. I don't have it marked here, but I exited this trade at $4.01 as it was coming back down. It just didn't seem to have, at this point when it broke through 4, you would expect a stock that is this active. Everybody's looking for the next gene, Gene. You would have expected that this would have at least a little bit of a surge, and it just didn't do that. And so as it started coming down, I exited at 401. So here is one that was a wash. Here is one that was a loss. The next one was OCN. Same sort of thing. Now OCN got in late. You can see, I mean, it had the big surge, and this has been coming back. If we take a look at the daily chart, you can see that it's had a big rise from the low of about 581, and it's almost doubled since then. And I don't know exactly what this stock is all about. Obviously, some financial services, etc. But so this was one, and somebody made the point that it was at 10, and so. In fact, I think it was me that made the point that it was at 10. Sorry about that. Let me get to the 5-minute chart. But I think I think Matt again, Matt in the room. I think he brought this one to our attention about right there. So when it broke through 10, up, down, I decided to take the trade right here at 10.11. I sold half at 10.29, and the other half basically at break even. All right. Garmin, oh boy, Garmin was a tough one. Garmin again was one of these ones. It's still down $5.20. We identified it in the pre-market as something that was very beat up, and we're trying to find a way to trade this. So here's where the market opened, and it popped down. Excuse me, had a little bit of a pop up, but nothing really that extended. And as it was coming down again, I took the trade at right here on this candle here. It looked like it was going to start to resume this sort of a pop. So I took the trade at 548. It actually got up to about 572, but very quickly. I missed that spike up and it came right back down. and then I exited here for a loss at 51.36. And it is just, let's see what it is doing now. Yeah, I mean it's really done nothing. This was a hard one to, or right here would have been a decent pop, but I think by this time I was sick of Garmin. I really, it was a tough one, and the other reason was that we were trying to trade fossil at the same time. Now this is still down $17. Again, this is on guidance. The guidance is about a half of what the market was expecting, but at one point it was 79.82. And what are we now? 82. So at one point it was down another almost $3, almost down $20. So of course we were trying to find a way to play this one. And a little bit of a pop here. Again, these candles are too wide for me to get into, because where am I going to put my stop? I mean, if I get into it right here, 80.68 and 80.15, that's a very wide stop. And then so I just can't take those. It was against the grain for me to take a stock like that. And then it came back down again. And then we just started watching it. And, it looked like it was okay now, a little bit of a pullback. And then this, and then it was broken through the whole number. And I ended up taking the stock at 81.38 right there. It popped up. It looked like it was going to go, got all the way up to here. But again, these are very whippy candles. I mean, it's not like it stayed up here for a long time. Up here it touched it and it came sold right off. And I had enough of it right here. I sold for 81.46 for a very small gain. So, I've done very little. I mean, I've had a couple loss, a little bit of a gain, and basically a wash. Here's another one, FSL. FSL came to me, was a strong stock right here. You see how strong it was right there. And unfortunately, I can't believe it, I didn't mark it up. Okay, well, let me just put this on hold. Sorry about that. No wonder I thought I had marked it up, and I was typing in FLS instead of, or sorry, FSL instead of FLS. So this was a strong stock. I mean, it's still up $1.94, and but it was very whippy. I was watching this. It right around here was very whippy. A couple of times I almost took the trade, but I decided to take the trade when it broke through 64. About the third time. I mean, here's the time, here's the time, here's the time. So I took the trade right here at 64.17. Very whippy still, and I was fortunate to exit here at 63.97 as it was coming down through the whole number. So there's another loss, small losses, but and I actually said in the room, thank goodness for stops, because I mean, if I'd gotten pig-headed and just said, heck, it'll do one of these and then come back up, one of these and come back up, I would have got killed because it just kept falling and falling and falling. So, yeah, I lost some money, but I paid the stop and got out with my account still intact. Now, here's the star of the day, and this is what I was meaning. I mean, the winning percentage doesn't matter so much. It's if you can let some of your winners run, they can take care of a lot of small losses, and this was definitely the one. EGRX was on my best 10 list. Where is it now? Here, well, it's number two right here. Number two because I sort these on the position in the day's range, and this one, this was a tough one to get into, I found, but TTS is still at the top. But EGRX it's about 90%. It's about 10% from the high right now of the day. But I was watching this one and I basically missed it early. I mean, when I do these are ones that I have scanned for the night before and I've put on this list. And I actually mentioned EGRX in the pre-market, but I was so wrapped up in some of the other things that I kind of lost sight of it. And so, right here is when the market opened. Now it took a bit of a dive and then it started moving up smartly. And it also, if my memory serves me right, let me just see, I'm pretty sure. Yes, you see here, it showed up on my lifetime high alert around the whole number, right at $30. So that kind of got me back into it. I looked at my best 10. And I said, why did I forget about that one? But I got the alert right there when it touched right above 30, and then it pulled back down, and then when it reclaimed 30 again, I decided to take it. It's just one of these crazy bios that just seem to want to run. And so I got into the trade at 30.17 right here. I sold some right here at 30.86, which I thought was pretty darn good. They pulled back down. I thought, well, maybe it's over. You know, it's run up so much. I mean, let's take a look at the daily on this one. I mean, the daily, I mean, this is just screaming. This is today. So this is Tuesday, and this is Friday, and this is Thursday. So I mean, this is 18.93 to $33 in four trading days. I mean, it's just incredible. And that's what some of these bios can do. So that's why I figured, okay, this has got some momentum. It broke through the whole number, so I took the trade right here, sold half here. Then I got this beautiful candle up here, and it consolidated a bit here, and I ended up selling another bit right here at 32.51, and then I got out of the trade 32.32. So we're talking from what 30.17 to 32.51, so well over $2 for both of these. So just a tremendous trade, and again, making up for the small losses that you take. This is my only real, what I would call real winner today. Well, I also, I guess the other one, but not. In fact, let's see what it's doing right now, just for fun. Let's see if it's recovered six. Yeah, you see, it has recovered six. Uh, this would be really hard for me to hold on to overnight just because it's got such a low float. You never know what could happen. I mean, people who have been in this stock for a long time are just salivating to get out. Let's just take a look again at the daily on this. And I mean, okay, 4.8 million shares. Now, if the float is correct, according to Trade Ideas, then it's already traded over twice the float size. But look at what it normally trades. I mean, I can't 176,000 was yesterday, but it really doesn't trade very much. So you take one of these overnight and you run the risk of everybody fleeing it in the post market or pre-market and at the beginning of the day. So I'll have to figure out if it holds strong, maybe take just a few shares just for fun and see what happens. So let's see, another one, again, another small loss, TCO. I don't know if I marked it up. I don't think I did because it was this was just before the Fed announced, or no, that's wrong. This one, sorry, CDW was just before the Fed announcement. You see, I took this one again. This was a break, lifetime high. Took it over the whole number, and right around here, because today was FOMC day. Okay, at 2 o'clock. This is when the FOMC minutes were coming out, and you can see what happened ahead of that. And what I really wanted to happen, because I took it sort of early enough, that's probably about 120 or so, but it just didn't really do anything. And as the FOMC minutes were soon to be released at 2, it was just doing nothing. And I hate holding onto a stock during that. So I exited right here for no loss, and lucky I did because then it just collapsed right after that. Now, speaking of the FOMC, here's where it opened. Let's take a look at a 1 minute chart. Probably it's a little more exciting. So here is at 2 o'clock right there. So the big spike up, another spike up, a little bit of pullback, spike up. So kind of choppy, and now it's starting to lose, but it's all over the place. Now, I guess what the Fed said is they're not going to raise rates, and also just before this happened, I guess the ECB decided they were going to loan Greece the money, and that kind of spurred the market on a bit too. But you can see that this is pretty choppy, very tough to trade around this area. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to get long, then you're going to get short, then you're going to get long, you're going to get short. It's really hard. Let's get back to, okay, there's a 5 minute chart. So at least it is, here's 2 o'clock where it was. So it's at 210.03 now from 209.60. So it's still above where it was when the FOMC was announced. Now, let's see. That was CDW for no gain. And then the last one was TCO. And again, this was no gain for me. Sorry, a small loss. Took the trade right here on this big surge. Took it about right here. Didn't mark it up. I think it was at, yeah, it was at 75.19 right there. And I sold at 75.11. So I guess my bottom line is that if I added up, I lost one, two, three, four, five, basically 5 trades that I lost. And I really only made money on one trade, but because it was so darn good, it really didn't matter what I did on the rest of them. So, for those of you who are so concerned about your winning percentage, and I have to admit, it's always nice to have a good winning percentage. You never want to have 10 losing trades in a row, even if they're small losses, and the 11th one is the big one. Pretty tough for your psyche to do that. But in some of these bios, you just have to kind of let them run, and that one ran, it did. And I can see right here too that my low float stocks, EGRX, according to Trade Ideas, about 6 million float. So something to remember. I mean, we have a float filter. Okay, you can put the float filter in. It's going to tell you how many shares are in the float. This particular call a top list that I've got, I believe I am limiting the float size to, yeah, 7 million. So the float is all these stocks have a float that less than 7 million. So, if they start to run, I mean, they can really, really run. All right, kind of a long video today. I think that is it. Oh, the only other one is that I did get out of my AXP. Unfortunately, I got shaken out of it in the pre-market. This was a buy at 77.82 yesterday, and this little action right here shook me out. I got out at 78.90. I don't have it marked, but still, over $1 from yesterday. But then it just recaptured it all, and it's done very well since. So anyway, surprising, very active day for an FOMC day. So, but I'm glad it's over. I usually hate trading these days, but today was was pretty exciting. Okay. Hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow. Again, here's how to get in, and you can log in with your Facebook or Twitter account. And thanks a lot for listening.